Can I be real with you for just a second? Over the past few months, I've felt like I've been in this waiting season, or in-between season is what I called it, where things are settled. Things become routine, they're calm, they're peaceful. We talked about it in the podcast on April 14th called Learning to Sit in the Calm and Navigating the Space in Between Seasons. I recently took a family vacation and it was wonderful. Sandy beaches, tropical temperatures, laughter, great memories. The kind of trip that just fills you up, right? And then I came back home. And I have been having a really hard time getting back into the groove. For nearly 2 years, I've been writing and scripting either my books or Weekly for You, the audience of And That's Okay. And by the way, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you. But lately I've been asking myself, why does it suddenly feel difficult to get moving again? Where's the motivation, the insight, the easy to flow narratives that I've been so fortunate to share week after week? I flipped through journals and yellow Post-it notes filled with ideas that at one point seemed exciting, like future podcast titles or thoughts or reflections, little sparks of inspiration. Yet here I am, fingers sitting on the keyboard, staring at a blank screen. I have so many partially written, I'm not really feeling this one scripts. So is this writer's block? Where's the creative spark I've been having for the last 2 years? And why don't any of these dozens of scribbled out ideas feel right? And maybe if you felt that too, not necessarily about creativity, but somewhere else in your life, maybe in your marriage or other motivation, your career, your health, that strange feeling where something that once felt natural suddenly feels heavy. The things you used to move through with confidence now feel forced. And honestly, I don't like it because it makes me feel stressed. I'm so anxious and nervous, like, when's my next podcast? But then I realized something important. I haven't really been seeking the things that pour back into me, the things that motivate me, inspire me, challenge me, restore me. I haven't been feeding my mind and my soul or my vision lately. And maybe this slump isn't punishment. Maybe it's just a signal that something in me needs attention instead of pressure. And that's okay. Welcome to And That's Okay, the podcast that empowers you to master your emotional world. I'm Lisa Renee Scott, your host and a passionate believer that every feeling is a signal and every signal holds power. In a world that often tells us to ignore or dismiss our emotions, I'm here to remind you that whatever you're feeling, it's for a reason, and that's okay. Okay, so today we're talking about something so many people experience, but don't always maybe know how to explain it. The slump. That season where you feel stuck, disconnected, unmotivated, emotionally flat, or just off. And while my personal experience right now is centered around creativity, this feeling shows up in so many different areas of life. You might be feeling this in your relationships, where conversations may become more logical than meaningful. And even though you love each other, something just feels disconnected. Maybe it's showing up in your career where the work you once were excited about now just feels like another obligation on your calendar. Maybe you're feeling it in parenting, where you deeply love your children, but you're exhausted by constantly giving and rarely slowing down enough to check in with yourself. Maybe it's your health journey, where motivation has been replaced by frustration, and the habits that once felt empowering now feel super heavy. Or maybe you're navigating a life transition, an empty nest, a divorce, retirement, a move, or a new chapter you thought you'd feel exciting, but instead it feels unfamiliar and maybe a little disorienting. Sometimes this feeling even shows up after good things, after achieving a goal or surviving a hard season, after finally getting the thing you worked so hard for. Because sometimes we prepare ourselves for the climb, but not for what happens after we arrive. No matter where this slump shows up for you, There is a way through it, and today I want to walk through the framework that's been helping me process this season. Name it, claim it, navigate it. The first step is to name it. This is about creating awareness around what you're feeling and being specific about it. It's easy to say, I'm in a funk, or I feel off, or I'm struggling. But vague feelings create vague understanding. And when we don't understand what we're actually feeling, we can't navigate it clearly. For me, this creative slump has brought up feelings like frustration, anxiety, pressure, self-doubt, and depletion. Not just bad feelings, specific feelings. And when I finally slowed down long enough to name them honestly, I realized they were trying to tell me something. So maybe for you, the feeling isn't sadness. Maybe it's resentment. Maybe it's not laziness, but exhaustion. Maybe it's not a lack of motivation, but fear of what would come next. When we take time to sit with ourselves honestly, through journaling, prayer, reflection, conversation, or even just quiet moments, we start identifying what's happening under the surface. And that clarity matters because naming your feelings moves you from confusion to awareness. And awareness is where healing and movement begin. Now, once you name what you're feeling, the next step is to claim it. This means validating your experience instead of judging yourself for it. And honestly, this is where a lot of people struggle. We tell ourselves we shouldn't feel this way, or other people have it worse. I need to get over it. You're being dramatic. You should be grateful. But minimizing your feelings doesn't heal them. It just buries them deeper. And for me, claiming this season means acknowledging that it makes sense that I feel depleted when I haven't been pouring anything back into myself. It makes sense that I feel disconnected when I've been operating more than restoring. And this isn't about excusing inaction. It's about accepting the reality of where I am without shame. Because you can't consistently pour out and then criticize yourself for being depleted. Sometimes we shame ourselves for struggling in seasons where we've been quietly running on empty. And when that self-criticism becomes louder than the actual problem, there's an issue. So claiming your feelings simply means, this is what I'm feeling right now, and I don't need to attack myself for it. Feelings are information, not identity, not failure, not weakness, just information. And when you stop fighting your feelings, you free up energy to actually move through them. And that's where we navigate it. This is where we move from awareness into intentional action. Not giant life overhauls, not dramatic transformations, small, honest, intentional steps. The goal here is not perfection. The goal is reconnection. So I have a few ways to start navigating a slump in real life. Number 1, re-engage with a forgotten passion or hobby for just 15 minutes. I want you to think about something you used to enjoy before life became heavy or routine, or maybe before marriage or kids or careers. Maybe it was reading, painting, gardening, baking, music, walking, photography, anything that once you felt connected to. Spend just 15 minutes with it without pressure to be productive or even good at it or even a finished product. This reconnects you with joy outside of your responsibility. It reminds your nervous system what curiosity, creativity, and presence feel like again. Number 2, connect with one supportive person in a genuine way. I want you to reach out to someone safe, whether that's a friend, a family member, a mentor, or someone who simply helps you feel grounded. Not to emotionally dump, not to perform, not to pretend you're fine, just to have a real human moment and ask about their life. Share honestly. Listen fully. Slumps often convince us to isolate, but healthy connection interrupts emotional spiraling. Genuine connection restores perspective and reminds you that you don't have to carry everything alone. Number 3, practice mindful observation for 5 minutes. Now, if you haven't done this before, you sit quietly, look out the window, and notice colors, sounds, textures, movement. Put your phone down and fully engage with the present moment. This grounds your mind in the present instead of spiraling into anxiety about the future or frustration about the past. Even a few intentional minutes can calm your nervous system and create mental clarity. Number 4, learn one small thing unrelated to your slump. Watch a short documentary or read an interesting article. Learn a random fact. Maybe let curiosity lead the moment. New input stimulates your brain in fresh ways. It interrupts that emotional stagnation and reminds you that growth and discovery are still available to you, even in difficult seasons. Number 5, do one small act of kindness. Send an encouraging text. Hold the door open. Compliment someone sincerely. Buy someone coffee. Check in on someone who's been on your mind. Kindness shifts your focus outward in a healthy way. It creates connection, purpose, and positive emotional momentum, not just for others, but for you too. Maybe the slump isn't proof that something is wrong with you. Maybe it's proof that something within you needs attention. Maybe you haven't lost your motivation. Maybe you've lost connection with the things that help you feel alive. For me, I realized I didn't lose my creativity. I just stopped reconnecting with the things that fuel it. And maybe your situation looks completely different, but the feeling underneath is probably the same. Disconnection from joy, purpose, from rest, from yourself. But the good news is, disconnection is not permanent. Small, intentional shifts matter. Naming what you feel matters. Claiming your experience without shame matters. And navigating forward one small step at a time matters. Not perfectly, not all at once, just honestly. Because growth isn't always loud. Sometimes growth looks like recognizing you're in a slump and choosing not to abandon yourself while you move through it. And that's okay. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of And That's Okay. I hope our conversation left you feeling validated, empowered, and equipped with practical steps to name it, claim it, and navigate it in your own life. If you found value in today's message, please subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with someone who needs to hear that their feelings are valid too. And if you're ready to dive deeper into transforming your emotional landscape, you'll definitely want to grab a copy of my book, And That's Okay. It's available on Amazon or through my website. Just check the link in my bio or the captions of this episode. For daily inspiration, reflections, and more tools to support your growth, come connect with me on social media. I'd love to hear how you're applying the Name It, Claim It, Navigate It framework in your own life. Before we wrap up, a quick reminder. I'm not a licensed doctor or therapist. I'm simply sharing experiences and insights that have helped me and countless others along the way. My mission is to empower you with tools, not replace professional medical advice. Remember, whatever you're feeling or going through, you have feelings, and that's okay.